Hey guys, welcome back to Covenant Canon. Since the days of Halo Broken Circle, we haven't really got much information about the Ussans after the event of the Human Covenant War. Well, all that seemed to change back in November, when Battle of the Blood Moon Waypoint Chronicle was released. In that article, we got some very new information about an Ussan who joined the Swords of St. Helios, an Ussan that was briefly mentioned in Broken Circle. And now, with the release of Anvil Accord, we got some new information on another Ussan. In light of this new information, I thought it would be a good idea to break down everything we know about the Ussans after the events of the Human Covenant War. More specifically, after the events of Broken Circle. Now, for those who haven't read the book and have no idea what the Ussans are, you can go and check out my latest video on them that I did a few months ago. You can find that video in the description box below. Suffice it to say, the Ussans are descendants of Sangheili rebels who rejected the Writ of Union 3,000 years ago, when the Covenant was first being formed. They were named after their leader, a Sangheili Kaidan named Ussa Zealous. When the war between the Sanshayum and Sangheili came to an end, he rebelled against the newly established Covenant. In response, the Covenant destroyed his keep and drove him and his followers into exile. He and his followers took refuge on a relatively young Forerunner shield world called, surprise surprise, the Refuge. With the aid of the local monitor, Enduring Bias, Ussa Zealous established a colony on this world, until the Covenant discovered it. As the Covenant invaded the colony, Ussa Zealous enacted a disassembly process. This was an experimental form of defense created by the Forerunners, in which the refuge broke apart, leaving its pieces relatively inhabitable. Believing that the rebels destroyed themselves, the Covenant abandoned the colony, leaving Ussa Zealous and his followers in peace. Over the centuries, however, the colony would experience a decline, cultivating in the blood sickness, a disease that left Sangheili mad and delusional, leading to centuries of war and strife. This series of conflicts led to its climax at the end of the Great Schism, where the reigning Kaidan of the Refuge, Baltol Zealous, a descendant of Ussa Zealous, clashed with a fanatical leader known as Kinsa. It was at this time that a Covenant separatist ship arrived at the debris of the Refuge. It was here that these modern Sangheili would help their distant cousins in quelling this problem, cultivating in the awakening of Enduring Bias and curing the blood sickness. To celebrate the end of the conflict, Enduring Bias brought all the pieces of the Refuge and brought them together, forming its own mini Halo ring. Moreover, a deal was struck between the modern Sangheili and the Ussans, allowing any to return to St. Helios if they wished to. Some took the offer, while others remained, seeking to rebuild their lost world that had now been reunited. And that's pretty much Broken Circle in a nutshell. With this in mind now, let's examine what we know about the Ussans after the events of Broken Circle. According to the recent Nakai Vodar article, the Arbiter bolstered the Sangheili ranks aboard Anvil Station with a number of Ussans. Though they were few in number, the Arbiter believes that they are the key to a post-war peace, for they were unfettered by any political strife or any xenophobia that had been rooted by the Covenant. One such is a Sangheili artisan armorer named Kohar Tovarn. At the moment, he's examining the Assailer armor that was recovered during a Sangheili human operation. Now let's move back to Battle for the Blood Moon, where we see another Sangheili Ussan by the name of Zelk Talik serving aboard Maki Chava's own ship, Skorin's Blade. Now for those observant few, you'll recognize his name, because he also made an appearance in Broken Circle, as he served as a scout eye operator for the colony external maintenance of the Refuge. For both Kohar and Zelk, they both share a similarity between them. They both serve in the Swords of St. Helios, Zelk serving as an operator aboard Skorin's Blade, and Kohar as an artisan armorer on Anvil Station. And before I forget, our Cardinal Kulul, the Sangheili fleet master that we saw in Rise of Atriox and Battle of the Blood Moon, he is also aligned with the Swords, and he is helping ferry Ussans from the refuge to Sanghelios, at least before the events of the Created Uprising and the Rise of the Banished. Now this tells me only one thing: the Ussans are aligned with the Swords of Sanghelios, if not as fully fledged members of the group, then at the very least as allies. Like I said earlier, the Ussans have no reason to hate humanity or cling to any post-war strife that the Sangheili at large are going through at the moment. So it would make perfect sense for them to share the Arbiter's ideologies of unification and peace. After all, the Ussans had themselves just went through a bloody civil war. Now this raises another topic. What is the Arbiter offering to the Ussans? In short, I would say he's offering a lot to them. Now let's remember, the Ussans dated back way to the founding of the Covenant. While it's true that they lived on a Forerunner shield world, in comparison to their modern cousins, they were pretty backward in terms of their technological advancements. For example, they only had burn blades and relative walkers to move about on the refuge. I would imagine that the Arbiter is providing a lot of help to them. Humanitarian support, technological advancement, scientific aid, and all other stuff. Now, this help would have been moderate, seeing as he was busy with the blooding years and all that. But I can see the Arbiter valuing the Ussans as the symbols of what their species could be, and he could see them as the potential for a new galactic peace. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Ussans have the potential to be grounded more into the Halo canon, or do you think they'll be sticking more with Waypoint Chronicles and backdrop lore? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time guys, may the eyes of Urs look down upon you all. Victory to clan and kin, Covenant fans. Covenant Canon, out.